A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Nerf Secrets Revealed Aftersought Part 2. And so for today, what I very much would like to talk about would happen to be the biggest of the trio released in 2021 as part of what was then known as the last leg of the rival line. This is the Tyche, the largest of the trio from the Curve Shots line, and what most people considered at the time the last blaster to ever be released in the rival lineup. This one I feel like is a bit more than just unique, not only for being what was then supposedly the only other rival blaster that we would ever get, but for Nerf would eventually change their mind and start dropping the so-called Hyper line in favor of more rival blasters, with some more unique innovations in mind. But of course, I feel like that the Tyche is a bit more than just the sum of what it would have been if the rival line were truly extinct in 2021. But by all accounts, I am more than just grateful that Nerf is actually able to continue the rival line in a rather unique way. Yet, this blaster does quite a bit, actually. It's not that bad of a blaster entirely, but the main thing is, this is a hopper that you fill up in the back. It's mostly just a hopper with dual ramps, as you can see right here. And the hopper itself, I've done the math right here, can actually hold about 34 rounds. Of course, the ramps will allow these to easily slide down into the chamber, which is right around here, and it basically chambers into the blaster like so, thanks to this little rotary function that you can see here through the jam door. It's pretty clever how they can use a jam door as a way to easily access this sort of rotary port, which does allow for it to easily turn and dial along, so you can easily find a jam whenever possible. But by all accounts, do I necessarily call this blaster much better than the likes of other rival blasters that I've reviewed so far? Blasters, of course, like the Atlas, Saturn, Mercury, Hypnos, or the Eros and Deimos, I'm not necessarily sure, but at least for a curve shot blaster, the one unique innovation that Hasbro was able to put together is the ability to, in fact, allow the blasters to curve their shots depending on how the barrel is angulated. So you can turn it to the left or the right, and they will easily arc to the left or right depending on how the barrel itself is set. So, by all accounts, I feel like that the Curve Shots line probably should never have given us the thought of it being a complete and total dead series, because the rival line was pretty revolutionary for the time. And between its lifespan since its first inception and release in 2015, all the way up to today here in 2024, I am more than just guaranteed to like this series a bit more than the likes of many other series I've seen back then. Especially when lineups like the Zombie Strike line, Mega line, Elite line, Rebel line, Modulus line, Doomlens line, and AccuStrike line are pretty much out of the picture altogether. And I do in fact have some rounds remaining right here, so let's also check this to make sure that we don't have any others that are missing, because try and see if I can get it out. There we go. Because what I hope to do here actually is do a little bonus right here. One, of course, alright, completely empty. We're gonna try and use the one innovation that I feel would easily upgrade any kind of blaster. Though, of course, it is more of a trial and error altogether. The Invisibullet. Specifically the variation that is made for rival blasters. So, let's go ahead and drop a few in there. And let's try and fire it off. Well, alright. I'd say that what was supposedly the last blaster to be released in the series, the usage of the invisible integration with this one actually does succeed, not only in hoping to improve the blaster based on its ability to fire downrange, but also to be a bit more accurate. Not just with the inclusion of the turner in the barrel itself, which does allow the shots to curve around to the left or right, but in any case, I do consider the Tyche to be a great pickup. The only real problem though would be the fact that it's well over $30, and having to spend that much money would be about as sensible as spending your entire daily minimum wage paycheck on a whole bunch of alcohol. So it's like what a lot of blasters in 2021 have in fact taught us over the years. And I do feel like that for such a bad year like 2021, this comes as no surprise. And so I do feel like that it's an interesting option out there, and also one that supposedly would have ended a huge triumphant success in Nerf's lifespan. But hey, since the rival line is still around, and it probably will be for a long time, I don't see this leaving anytime soon. Hopefully never. But if you want to see more, go down to my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.